Nearly nothing showcases your skills as a data analyst better to potential employees or clients than a portfolio project. And in this video, I'll walk you through the 5 steps to create a data analytics portfolio project. And if you stay until the end, I even got 2 bonus tips for you. I'm Vikash, working in the areas of data analytics and UX research for over 6 years now. I founded Vikash Analytics to offer my data expertise as a service to companies all over the world. Whether you're entering the world of data analytics or you want to demonstrate your analytical prowess, a portfolio project is your way to go. It represents your skills, your expertise, your unique analytical thought process, and if you do a really good one, it can also show some of your personality. Especially if you don't have significant experiences to leverage yet, a portfolio project is your best way to showcase your analytical approach. And today, I'm gonna show you my 5-star blueprint for creating one. So let's get started. The first step to take in creating a portfolio project is deciding on a domain. It might sound simple, but this decision shapes your entire project. If you're building a portfolio project with a specific role in mind, then it makes sense to choose the topic accordingly, like building a finance tracker to apply for a position at a financial service provider. But here's the pro tip: go for a topic you are passionate about. It could be anything from sports, movies, climate change, or even coffee. This personal connection not only keeps you motivated, but it also gives the potential employer or client a little glimpse of who you are behind those numbers. Once you've decided on a theme, it's time to define your research question, the main question you're trying to answer with your data. Executing an analysis is a very structured process, and you should build your portfolio project keeping this in mind. Every research paper we find out there starts the main part with some kind of question or hypothesis that gets analyzed further down the road. Since we are not actually writing research papers, but instead trying to showcase our data analytics skills, there are no exact rules how this research question has to look like. You can choose a very clear question or a more abstract one, but in general, this is the starting point from where your project starts to evolve. Let's say you're passionate about movies. Your question could be, how did the movie genre preferences change over the past decades? Another very underestimated point about the research question is the position of it inside of the project. Of course, it should be the starting point from where your analysis begins, but it should also be part of the conclusion. After the analysis, your project is only complete if you circle back to the opening question and discuss it with the information you gained. Now you've got your question, but what's an analysis without data? It's time to hunt for datasets. Websites like Kaggle, UCI Machine Learning Repository, or Google Datasets search can be very helpful for this process. In other occasions, there might be APIs out there or web pages you can scrape. This would effectively also add web scraping as a skill to your portfolio project. A more unconventional way right now, which will gain more importance in the future, is generating your own datasets with generative AI like Milkstraw. Make sure that the data you pick aligns with your question and is reliable. Finally, after covering these steps, we reach the actual analysis. With your data in hand, dive deep. Use your preferred tools and an environment you feel comfortable in, be it SQL, Python, R, or any other. If again you have a job opportunity in mind already, then try to find out what your target employer or client uses and try to focus on those tools. A portfolio project does not only have to showcase skills that you have already mastered. It can very well be an opportunity to learn, but try to keep the main purpose of the project in mind. And remember, it's not only about answering a question, it's about understanding the story that the data is trying to tell you. Visualize it, make it compelling. Every graph, every statistic should bring you one step closer to answering your research question. After all this hard work, it's time to showcase. Platforms like GitHub, Medium, or even a personal website are ideal for this. Make sure to provide some context about your project, your approach, and the results. Try to make it as accessible and compelling to someone in your audience as possible. Alright, before we finish up this video, here are some additional thoughts that you should always have in mind while creating your next portfolio project. Number 1, storytelling is key. I cannot emphasize on this enough. After all, data is not only about the numbers, it's about the stories that they contain. And as data analysts, it's our job to unpack those by transferring numbers into information and ultimately into a compelling story. The second thought you should have in mind: you are allowed to cheat. We're not in school anymore, and this is not an exam you have to fully do by yourself. In Austin Kleon's books, Steal Like an Artist and Show Your Work, you'll find inspiring insights about how there's no such thing as true creativity. Look at some work that inspires you and feel free to use their approach onto your domain and add a little bit of your own personality to make the portfolio project stand out. You have the blueprint. You're ready now to go on and build your own data analytics portfolio project. If you're curious about what it looks like to build a project like this from scratch, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Up next, we'll build a portfolio project together, step by step. See you guys in the next video.